It's a crisp, beautiful morning as we head out for the first day of our 4-day adventure. After riding up from the Bay Area last night, we spent the night in the quaint little mining era town of Grass Valley, a well-known jumping-off point for adventure rides in this area. As always, we have an ambitious route plan. Through the canyons and foothills of the Sierra Nevada, up to Lassen National Park, then over to the coast along the windiest road in California, and then south along the coastal trails of the Lost Coast. Today should be a long but fun day with a good bit of off-road. First, along the old logging roads and wagon trail routes of the Motherlode, and then again up in Lassen. Just outside of town, we find North Bloomfield Road, named after a well-preserved mining town that we're going to go check out. From what I've read, the road to Bloomfield should be a mix of paved twisties and well-graded dirt. But after Bloomfield, all bets are off as we explore the ridges and canyons of the Yuba River and its tributaries. This bridge was built in 1904 using the steel truss and timber deck construction typical of this area. Technically, it's rated to be structurally deficient and slated to be replaced soon, but we decided to take our chances anyways.
Let's swap for a sec.
On this ride, we're doing a head-to-head comparison between my tricked-out Africa Twin and this fully adventurized KTM 690. So we're trading bikes back and forth as we go. This nicely graded forest road is a good way to warm up for the more interesting terrain we expect to encounter in the canyons. The riding conditions are perfect. The air is cool and crisp, and it's a great way to start the trip.
I think we're in North Bloomfield.
20 miles down the road, we arrive at North Bloomfield, a well-preserved Gold Rush era mining town and part of the Malakoff Diggins State Park. The original mining camp, established in 1852, was called Humbug, but as the town grew, it adopted the more dignified moniker of North Bloomfield. The town was at the center of one of the largest hydraulic mining fields in California, with the landscape still showing scars of this brutally efficient but environmentally catastrophic approach to getting gold out of the ground. These enormous water cannon, called monitors, would wash away entire hillsides, and after the runoff was sifted to extract the gold, it was sent downstream, causing catastrophic flooding along the Sacramento Delta. The work of these cannons was so efficient that the enormous swaths of denuded hillside are still visible by satellite 170 years later. By 1884, the ranchers along the Delta won a lawsuit against the North Bloomfield Gravel Mining Company, triggering the demise of hydraulic mining in California. Over the next several decades, North Bloomfield would fade into memory, and by 1930, the town, which once hosted about 2,000 residents, was a ghost town. Remnants of the town are preserved as part of the Malakoff Diggins State Park, and there's a nice museum offering a glimpse into what life must have been like here. Just outside of town, we dive back into the woods. The park ranger had no useful information for us on road conditions in the canyons, and this area is a maze of trails, so we're heading into a bit of an unknown.
We're gonna go in 300 feet. It's gonna be a ride onto German Bar Road.
After some spirited riding along the wooded and generally well-graded forest roads, the trail starts to narrow, and then dives into a steep and unrelenting descent toward the river.
Now I'm going to take a beat. Woo! Jesus Christ. weird, sort of loose, rocky, and rutted. You know there's not going to be a bridge over this canyon. It's going to be water crossing or climb out. All right. Oh, I see the river on the map now. We should be very close. Well, the good news is it's not rushing like crazy.
After a break at the river, we're now faced with the prospect of climbing out of the canyon, along what we assume will be an equally steep ascent. Judging by the start, we're in for a good time.
Fucking badass.
At the summit, the trail gets wider again and starts flowing easily through the woods. But it seems that in canyon country, what goes up must go down, and we're hit with another steep, rocky descent. Finally, we reach Alleghany, a remote outpost of civilization in the woods. While it's not one of the biggest, Alleghany was one of the most famous high-grade gold mining districts in California. The gold came out in large nuggets here, including one that weighed 45 pounds. Because of the richness of the deposits, Alleghany was one of the only gold towns in California to persist through World War II. And while it's pretty quiet around here, some residents remain. And the principal mine, the 16-1, remains the oldest operating mine in the U.S. After a few miles of paved twisties heading out of Alleghany, we dive back onto a flowing road through the woods as we descend toward Downeyville. Downeyville is a treat. A quaint but lively river town and a mecca for kayaking, mountain biking, and many other outdoor activities.
Oh shit, I'm not even sure if we needed to go. No. It was to the right on that bridge? So we went the wrong way? Oh, okay.
The only shortcoming of this place, as far as we can tell, is that the gas station is closed, seemingly for good. A local told us that the next gas is about 10 miles down the road, and that is going to be pushing right up against the range of the KTM. We try to put this out of our minds as we wind along the scenic river canyon. Sure enough, a few miles down the road, Junior reports some bad news on the intercom. The KTM's gas tank finally gave out on mile 133.
This says Sierra City does have it. 1.2 miles, 2 minutes. All right, well, good. So I'll be right back.
We decided that I'll ride up ahead and bring back some gas. Had luck with gas today. The gas station at Sierra City is also closed. I try to give Junior a heads up that he'll be waiting a while longer, but there's no cell service in the canyon. It'll be another 7 miles to the next gas station at Bassett's. I return with a gallon of gas for Junior and find him reading a book in the shade by the side of the road.
Well, it'll be enough.
How much is the whole?
1 gallon, unless you spill some. I figure that's 3/4.
The Armadillo gas bag came in handy on this trip, sooner than we expected. Having filled up both bikes at Bassett's, we're now free to enjoy the twisties at a more spirited pace, without the need to conserve fuel. We enter the stunning Sierra Valley and make our way east on Highway 70, passing little towns and ranches along the way. I think this must be where all those happy California cows come from. At Hallelujah Junction, we join Highway 395. The long, lonely, and jaw-droppingly beautiful road running the length of the eastern Sierra Nevada. It's another hour to Susanville, where we'll probably bed down for the night. So, it looks like we're still going to be in the saddle for sunset. I couldn't think of a better place to watch the sun drop.